Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Stephanie.
And if you enjoy our show, please like and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
We're also on Instagram at TWiN, and you can also find us on X.
That always reminds me of Harry and Meghan when they're like, Beyonce text, and Harry goes,
so lame. Welcome to another installment of our Never Forget series. This series is for you and us to always remember that Harry and Meghan are grifters, and they started pretty early. And their whole intention was to move to LA and become Hollywood royalty and write their own ticket in town. Luckily, that didn't happen because Hollywood saw through them right away. But I want to bring us back to 2020.
Ooh, the
2020
pandemic.
was the pandemic. Now, the West Coast of America, the liberal West Coast of America was on lockdown. Okay, you guys, it was like no parks were open, no beaches.
Only walk your dog around the block. They made it very clear.
The food banks were completely closed to volunteers. Like you could not go down to Oregon Food Bank and volunteer. That was not allowed. Pet shelters, you could not volunteer. Everything was just shut down. We're not kidding. Like I kept thinking
militant.
I kept thinking that like a cop was going to come at any point and arrest me for like having too many people on the sidewalk.
It was bad.
Like, because there was two of us. I really thought that. I mean, I think I can't believe I was told when to walk.
Yeah.
Like we had times like in the city, like when you could grocery shop.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, it was really weird, you guys, because every state was different. And our state is very liberal. And so is California. California, I heard, was worse than Oregon. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I can't imagine it being worse than Portland.
Thanks for bringing us back to this dark time.
No, so I'm just setting it up. I'm setting it up to the people so you guys can remember, because it's so crazy, this story that I'm about to present to you. Back in 2020, we had not seen any sighting of Harry and Meghan, okay? Plus, we had not even seen the Oprah interview. This was the first time that we had seen them in America do anything. Meghan has her, what did you call those professional mask? Not the professional mask, but the H1H.
Oh, yeah. Like not hazmat.
Whatever. I don't know. They have a special term for it. And Harry went with a bandana.
Like that's going to keep him from spreading the virus.
Exactly.
That bandana.
But they managed to hold hands. So why were they walking on a LA street? They were volunteering for Project Angel Food, which delivers meals to terminally ill people. This is also a huge charity that celebrities like to attach themselves to, because they will take pictures of the celebrities going from door to door and then put it on their website. Yes. They'll put it on their Instagram. Celebrity feels good.
Lisa Rinna got an award for Project Angel Food.
Exactly.
And all the housewives attended it.
It's an easy place for a PR agency, I don't know, like Sunshine Sachs, to call up and go, hey, I got a couple people here that need PR. And I know you do this every day, but it's just one of those charities. I'm not saying that Project Angel Food is a bad charity and they're nefarious. They actually do amazing work.
It's like Children's Hospital. We did a whole video on it if you guys want to check that out. Yeah. We explain why.
Now, Meghan knows she is being photographed in these pictures. She knows because A, she's looking directly at the camera right there. B, there were no paparazzi allowed to be anywhere in the streets of LA, let alone anybody.
And C, she called them.
Yes.
I mean,
they were all taken by back.
Never forget.
They were all set up. They knew they were coming. It was set up also to get security cam footage, and we're going to get to that in a second.
And the fake point.
Yes.
I love that.
She's reading an address and she's acting like she knows where she's going. Like she knows Burbank. You can tell they're in Burbank.
Yeah.
She knows Burbank so well. Like, Harry, I used to live in LA.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even use a Thomas guide. That's how well I know the city of
Here's
LA.
Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah. So
across the street from the Trubies.
Yeah. So she's walking around Burbank. Again, she's got her high grade mask on and he's got a bandana.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got the Project Angel food and they're going to, again, terminally ill patients. And this is a setup. This is an obvious setup. But back then in 2020, we hadn't seen the Oprah interview yet.
No.
So we're still a little like, okay, they're in LA. Maybe they just wanted to help out a little bit, even though nobody else is allowed to volunteer.
No. And we were all very vulnerable back in 2020. So they could have done anything. He could have ridden his polo horse naked around town, and I would have been like, oh, maybe he's trying to help out somehow. I don't know.
Exactly.
You didn't know.
Stephanie makes a really good point. Our brains back then were so confused and so mush that we really were taking in information and not really being smart or rational about it.
No.
So that is a really good point you make. So then the article comes out, because they don't do it once, they do it twice. Again, they must have had a clear from the city. Garcetti was like, that was the mayor at the time. Garcetti was like, go ahead, let those two run ragged in the city of LA. I don't care. They're celebrities, they're royalty. Let them do it. So this really positive, this was back when they were getting positive PR. This really positive article came out. Let's read it. It's hilarious now. I want you to imagine now something being written like this. This will never, ever happen again. But the fact that this was written at all about them is freaking hilarious.
Because of their downfall.
Yeah.
That's so delicious.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are pictured for the first time in LA delivering food for a charity in masks and gloves after Duchess wanted her husband to see the city through the eyes of philanthropy.
Wow. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. What an idiot.
When did she ever do philanthropy when she lived there?
Never. When he fell for it.
Harry and Meghan were captured on surveillance cameras arriving at the Sierra Bonita community apartments in West Hollywood in their SUV at 10:55 a.m.
That's so specific.
A security team accompanied the couple in a separate SUV that followed closely behind. But they opted to walk up to the apartment to deliver the food alone. Again, lockdown meant lockdown. That means don't leave your house. If you're living somewhere, don't leave your house. Unless it's like essential, okay? Emergencies only. Do not leave your house. If you are rich and you can afford delivery, anything, you have the delivery, they leave it there, they run away. And then you have to wait 5 minutes to go grab the bag.
Check your doorbell cam.
And then you got to Lysol everything as it comes in. I mean, it was militant. This is horse pucky.
What else I found hilarious is that they opted to walk to the apartments. Remember New York when they went to that
Hudson Yards from the Equinox,
right? Which was just a block away. They had to be escorted.
No, it's on the same block.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying they could have walked there. It was literally next door, but they opted to take the SUV. Then, I mean, we're seeing it how clear we were all getting bamboozled back then.
I know.
Wow.
Dressed casually in jeans, Harry and Meghan both followed California's new rules regarding face coverings issued by Gavin Newsom on April 15th. While Harry elected to cover his face with a blue bandana, Meghan sported what appeared to be a white surgical mask. The couple also both wore a single glove on their right hand. One glove, because only one hand will infect the
That's
stuff.
How it works, I guess.
Now, this is when it becomes interesting. Luckily, this dude was able to capture them on his surveillance tape, so then he could give it to the news.
Yeah, it's a nice area there.
Yeah.
West Hollywood.
West Hollywood's great.
Beautiful.
One stunned recipient of the royal delivery was Dan Tyrell, 53, who admitted he didn't recognize the couple when he first opened the door of his West Hollywood apartment. You know, you would think the paparazzi outside wouldn't have recognized them either because they have masks over their face.
That's what I'm thinking. And also a baseball cap. It's not obvious he has red hair.
And why would Dan even think for a second it was them? For a second. They both have, like you said, they both are wearing baseball hats. And they both have masks over there. What? Dan? Really? And I'm not going to say anything that negative about Dan because I do feel bad for him if he's part of that project. But Dan, come on, Dan. Meghan and Harry spent 2 days volunteering with the nonprofit this week who cook and deliver meals to people with critical illnesses who are at greater risk amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. None of the charity's clients knew the Duke and Duchess were going to be delivering the food, nor had any been forewarned about their arrival. My phone rang and the lady said, "Hi, this is Meghan from Project Angel Food." Tyrell, who has HIV and issues with high blood pressure, told dailymail.com, "I said, oh, do you want to meet me downstairs?" I didn't realize it was the Meghan at this point. Tyrell said he was startled when he walked down the building's external staircase and spotted 2 blacked out SUVs on the road outside. "I knew there was something going on," he remarked. Now, if this man is in high risk, why wouldn't they just leave it outside his apartment,
Right.
like everybody was instructed to back then, and then he picks it up after they leave? No, he was to meet them there.
I don't think that's how high risk issues or what was it called, pre-existing conditions work during the pandemic. I don't think that's how it worked.
I know. Yeah,
okay.
That's not what we were told.
Oh, that's not what I was told.
Yeah. As he approached the front door, Tyrell said he spotted a man with red hair who looked familiar. "Then I looked at Meghan and put it all together," he said. Attempting to keep a low profile, neither Harry nor Meghan formally introduced themselves to Tyrell. Instead, they told him, "Here's your food and thank you. We hope you're well and that you're fine." "I didn't let on that I knew who they were," Tyrell said. "I didn't want to make them uncomfortable or anything."
Tyrell, you sound like a plant. I feel so bad, but you do, dude. You
were
were told to say this, and that sucks.
To have someone come and deliver the food is amazing. It makes us here feel that somebody cares outside. So for Harry and Meghan to do this is amazing.
I mean, you got to give it up to Sunshine Sacks. Yeah. I mean, they're almost like the mafia. They just get in there. They infiltrate people. They get people to talk. I mean, this is why they have such high profile clients. I mean, I want them, you know, I mean, I want them for something.
I mean, for them
It's
to
like the mob
go over the pandemic rules back then was just pretty hardcore. Yeah. Sussexes moved to LA from Vancouver Island, Canada in late March. Now that's important to remember because remember, this was in April. So March, April. Do you remember when Harry said that his family still thought he was in Canada that whole time? Well, how would they have thought you were in Canada when you're walking around LA delivering meals for Project Angel Food, you freaking moron?
He made it very clear that no one knew he was in LA, not even his family.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that BS anymore.
Never forget Project Angel Food.
It's speculation about who would foot the bill for the royal couple security detail. It's unclear who funded the 2 security detail in the SUVs that escorted the Duke and Duchess around Los Angeles on Wednesday, but the couple were warned by President Trump on March 30th that America certainly wouldn't be covering the costs. In response, Meghan and Harry assured the president they were never going to ask in the first place. Yeah, you wanted the UK to pay for it.
Yeah, different country, dude.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have no plans to ask the U.S. government for security resources. A statement from a spokesperson for the couple said at the time, privately funded security arrangements have been made. Yeah, King Charles was still paying for it back then. The palace later refused to comment about whether this meant UK taxpayers would no longer have to contribute towards any future bill. And the whole thing was, it wasn't like US taxpayers were going to then fund their security. It had to do with the visa Harry was on, which we're still a little confused about. If he was on a diplomatic visa, hell yeah, America does pay for it.
We do.
I don't know what they're smoking, but yeah, in a way, we do pay for it.
He was writing out the money that King Charles was giving him.
Yes.
And the trust that Princess Diana was giving him.
Yeah.
He was just riding that wave going, don't worry, we can spend this money because we're going to become billionaires in a year.
Yeah, we're already signed this Netflix deal.
We're huge, you know.
Project Angel Foods executive director Richard Ayub told People that Sussexes kept a low price. Sorry, I can't even say it. Sussexes kept a low profile throughout their voluntary work, adding the charity was completely honored to have them on board. They were extremely down to earth and genuinely interested in every single person they met. They engaged with our chefs. Wait, they got to go in the kitchen too?
The housewives did too. I've seen all the pictures and I saw the video.
Gosh. They engaged with clients.
Wow.
They just wanted to make sure that people felt the love and appreciation. Their goal was really just to honor our chefs and staffs and volunteers by being of service.
Now, see, Nancy, and you made a good point. This was pre-Oprah.
Yes.
So in my head, I'm telling you, I know I still like them here, but I still like them. But when I heard it was associated with Project Angel Food, which is a pay-to-play reality TV show type thing, I'm not gonna lie, I had a red flag on that.
Yeah,
one.
I remember you saying
I
that.
did say
the
it.
first thing you said was housewives do that.
That's what I said. I said Lisa Rinna. Wow.
What Megan said is she wanted to show Harry Los Angeles through the eyes of philanthropy. It's just beautiful. There's obviously a great deal of love and selflessness between them.
Oh my God.
They both are individuals who want to know about others. Our clients are clients who are often forgotten. They really wanted to go visit these people. They wanted to see them and talk to them and hopefully put a smile on their face. From what you've told me about Project Angel Food, they're the last ones that need help with publicity. No. Go to Skid Row.
It's like helping out the Humane Society, ASPCA, things like that. They have billions wrapped up in clients like that. These are clients.
Yeah. Ayub said Megan had learned about Project Angel Food back when she previously lived in LA and was desperate to help out with their cause.
That just proves it right there. She heard about it because it was a Hollywood thing to do, and she wanted to be a part of it because she jumped on the bandwagon Black Lives Matter, didn't she? Or something like that.
It's trendy to do it.
It's trendy.
And she probably wasn't a big enough celebrity to actually volunteer back then.
No, she wasn't. They didn't want her on.
She said she wanted to do something to give back on Easter and was talking to her mom, Doria Ragland, and her mom told her about Project Angel Food.
That's because Doria watches Kardashians. Duh.
They really wanted to ease the workload of our drivers because they deliver to between 50 and 60 people a day. Megan and Harry took about 6 deliveries last Sunday, and they said, we want to do it again and we want more. So they took 14 deliveries on Wednesday.
That's a lot of work.
I find that hard to believe it was 14. Before the couple set out on their delivery routes, they first paid a visit to the charity's headquarters where Abu gave them a tour. I'm sorry. How can that possibly have happened?
That didn't happen on that date in that year.
Charity director said both Megan and Harry asked a number of questions showing genuine interest in learning how the food is medically tailored for each client. Megan and Harry also met with the nonprofit's chefs before the royal couple were taken through the charity's social distancing protocols for the deliveries. Well, they didn't follow it because they met that Dan guy right at his door, requiring them to wear gloves and masks while ensuring they stay 6 feet away from any member of the public.
Well, what did they do with Dan? Would they have the food and they just threw it at him at the door?
And he must have really good eyesight because they had masks and hats on. And he could still tell it was Harry and Meghan.
Jeez.
It is thought to be the first charity publicly supported by Harry and Meghan since their move to California from Canada. The couple are now in quarantine, well, not really, with their son Archie Mountbatten Windsor, who turns 1 next month. Yesterday, it also emerged Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had donated nearly $100,000 to British charity. Isn't that amazing how it emerged?
It just emerged.
It's just emerged. Harry also made a special video call to the UK-based charity WellChild this week to shed a light on families caring for seriously ill children through the pandemic. During the video chat, Harry said both he and Meghan are focusing on family time during isolation. That and publicity stunts. There's a hell of a lot of positives that are happening at the same time, and being able to have family time, so much family time that you almost think, do I feel guilty for having so much family time?
Well,
Harry said.
he works so hard.
Yeah.
They both work so hard. That 1 hour a week is just grueling.
You've got to celebrate those moments where you just go on the floor rolling around in hysterics. Inevitably, half an hour later, maybe a day later, there's going to be something that you have to deal with, and there's no way you can run away from it. Like your grandfather dying or your grandma.
Getting sick?
The couple announced they are launching a new charitable foundation named Archwell this month. Well, we all know how that turned out. They said they look forward to getting started with Archwell Foundation, which will replace their Sussex Royal brand. That's a huge lie because Archwell then went to Sussex.com.
They kept rebranding it. I mean, what a joke.
The pair also have plans to include their own charity as well as a website as part of their new venture.
Oh, that probably meant American Riviera Orchard.
No.
Yeah, their new stuff is coming. Her new charity is called Crap Jam.
Yeah. I don't even think she thought she was going to have to do the jam back then, because I really do think in their head, Archwell was going to be really super successful, and Archwell Audio was going to even be more successful.
I think so.
And they also thought, hey, people are going to watch us on Oprah, and then they're going to watch this Netflix documentary about our love story, and it's going to be over. Okay, we are going to replace the British royal family.
We're going to make the big time, kid.
Yeah.
That's what she was thinking the whole time.
Luckily for Harry and Meghan, Backgrid was able to get the security cam photos and video of them giving Dan his meal.
Oh, good. At least they sold that.
So Dan was able to give them the security footage. Thank goodness for Dan. He was there to meet them there. He was able to then give an interview.
And it's also nice to see Harry with his bandana all the way down. You could see his nose, while the rest of us were all wearing a hazmat suit to the grocery store.
Yes, it's very nice of him. And what happened to the plastic gloves they were supposed to wear? Is he still wearing it? I don't think so.
You don't need that around terminally ill kids and adults.
I know, it's no big deal. The pictures of them just so confused or waiting for Dan to get there, because they know that Dan is the plant. They know Dan is the guy that is going to give them they know that they're getting recorded right now. They know that they're getting photographed right now.
It reminds me of The Purge, the way he's looking up at that camera.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's terrifying. If I saw that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get my meal. And I'm like, it's Harry and Meghan. Jesus. Wouldn't that scare you?
Now there's Dan opening the gate.
Oh, that doesn't seem like it's 6 feet. Look at his hand right there. That doesn't seem 6 feet away. And it seems very staged.
Yes. There's Harry with no glove.
Oh,
giving Dan the meal. Now, I could have sworn in the article they said that was the protocol.
It seemed like they said that angel food had a protocol.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry can't read.
Maybe. So luckily, not only did we get those fabulous pictures.
Thanks, Dan.
Entertainment Tonight, Inside Edition.
I watched them all.
They all covered it. And we're like, Harry and Meghan have hit the ground running in America. They're going to help everybody. Just watch this.
Just like the Housewives.
Yes.
It's Meghan Markle and Prince Harry seen in public for the first time since moving to LA as they deliver food to those in need. Surveillance video captured the ex-royals volunteering with the nonprofit Project Angel Food. Both were dressed casually, hats and sneakers. They also took all safety precautions. Each wore a glove on one hand and covered their faces. Meghan had a surgical mask, Harry a bandana. Meghan carried a piece of paper showing the names and addresses of the food recipients. The video shows what appears to be a security team in a black SUV across the street, but the couple chose to walk up alone to deliver the food. Meghan and Harry arrived at this apartment building in West Hollywood just before 11 a.m. It was their second day volunteering for the local charity after helping out on Easter Sunday.
Wow. That's something I'll never forget. I'll tell you that much after watching that shite show.
So, wow, they've come a long way from 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, they always say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I'm starting to believe it watching stuff like this because.
But it's just so interesting, though, because you see the correlation so soon. It's like Project Angel Food, Children's Hospital, The Kardashians, Real Housewives, Bravo TV, NBC Universal, Netflix, Harry and Meghan. It's all tied in.
Yeah.
And our brains were broken in 2020.
They were so broken.
It's like we weren't retaining, information correctly. So
but
give
now
us a break.
Yeah.
And it's like that Adele song, Go Easy on Me. I was just a child. We were so much younger back then. Like we weren't computing things.
I know.
But now we get it. So that's why, Harry and Meghan, we will never forget that time during the pandemic, you calling the Paps, getting an article written about you, having the story change 4 or 5 times on how many meals you actually delivered,
breaking the rules,
breaking protocol rules, and pushing your new Archwell website on all of us. We'll never forget.
Today's animal rescue is Granite State Dog Recovery. This was suggested by one of you. Thank you so much. We love getting suggestions like this. I really like this place because not only do they adopt dogs out, they reunite families with their lost or sheltered dogs. So like, let's say you lost your dog and it's not chipped and you can't find it. These are the guys that are going the extra mile and helping you find your dog. And speaking of someone who has a very naughty pit bull that when I first got her would know how to get out of the yard. Thank goodness she knew how to come back. But oh my goodness, was she naughty. Naughty girl. And these guys are great. So Granite State Dog Recovery. I will put their link in the description below. Please, please, please go check them out. Give them some love. It really does make a difference.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. We will see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Bye.